Hi, my name is Trevor Tyson from Kbandstraining.com, and we've been getting a lot of requests about building speed on the baseball field, whether it's taking second base, moving from first to third, or even explosively chasing down a ball in the outfield. The wall drill is going to be a great drill to help build hip flexor strength and power explosively from a stationary position. Proper positioning is key to setting up this drill. You can do this in an individual setting or a large group team setting. The key is that we keep our backs flat and we work at a 45-degree angle off the wall. Hand positioning has to be up towards our face, and our butts need to be flat as we move through the drill so that we can really develop knee drive in the proper dig positioning. Remember, your feet coming off the ground is just as important as your knee coming up, but we've got to move as explosively as we can through the resistance of K-bands to get the benefits. K-bands are a great addition to this drill. By completing unresisted sets, you're going to find that you can get great leg action in this position. But by adding the multi-flex resistance bands of K-bands, you're going to feel a whole lot more muscle activation through your hip flexors as well as your glutes. So now we're getting resistance through our knee and also pulling down the other way through the dig phase on the ground. This is by far one of the top speed drills with K-bands that you can complete to increase your speed all over the baseball field. With 12 to 15 second resisted sets, you're going to be right at that optimal amount of range to get to your rest period. Take a short break, about a minute, minute and a half, and then jump back into a resisted set. Complete about 4 to 6 resisted sets, then move back into the unresisted sets. Your legs are going to feel like feathers here. Make sure that you do a couple high knees before you begin this set to get your legs back under you. Now get back in that position and power through and move with this more explosive feeling that you have with this complete muscle activation. Remember, the key to increasing your speed is moving with fast twitch muscle fibers as explosively and proper form as we can. So keep that good positioning and move quicker and quicker and quicker. Think about the next step. The hands and foot speed drill is an amazing drill to help with your lateral quickness on the infield. Whether you play third, short, second, or even first, oftentimes we're going to be moving laterally quickly to pick up a baseball, turn and get it to first base. So with this drill, we can do this in large groups or individual training, but we're going to need 2 baseballs, 2 speed and agility cones or something to make sure that we've got our boundary set up. Then we're going to be strapping on K-bands to add that element of resistance to our hands and foot speed here. By getting more muscle activation as we move laterally, you're going to find that more strength in your hips and glutes are going to help you explosively move from side to side. So simply strap on the K-bands and get moving through this drill with great hand positioning. The hands and foot speed drill is a great drill to help with lateral quickness by adding resistance of K-bands. It's a great hands drill for working with the baseball from side to side. You're going to need 2 baseballs so that you can keep continuous motion from left to right. No hesitations. As soon as the ball's down and you're getting it back to the receiver, you're going to toss it back out for the infielder to continue to move laterally as quick as possible. Keep in mind that we got to have great body positioning. Bottoms are down, heads are up. Keep your hands out in front of your body. You should never be catching the ground ball between your legs, so we've got to make sure that we keep that proper infield fielding mechanics down throughout this drill. The drill set should be short and explosive, moving quickly through the resistance and then moving on to a small break in between while the next guy goes. By doing this, we're going to stimulate more muscles and get a little bit more explosive with the proper muscle activation. If we take it out to a longer time duration, your feet are only going to get slow and we're going to lose that proper infielding position. So move quick, explosively, 10 to 12 seconds, and then move on to the next man. The hands and foot speed drill can be used in small groups or even a large team setting. Run stations and push through each individual set, and you're going to find great results with this drill. This is a great way for baseball players to work through transitional defense, working with infield and outfield footwork. We're also going to be using the resistance of K-bands to help stimulate power and explosiveness within our hips that can translate to velocity as well as running speed. First, you're going to need to clip up your K-bands with the proper amount of resistance so that you can get the great muscle stimulation that you're looking for. Next, we're going to space out 4 cones. The 2 width-wise are going to be as big as we need to be able to get some lateral movement, but the key is to get the 20-yard depth for the drill. Each athlete's goal is going to be to sprint to get to the 20-yard mark, only being sidetracked by ground balls laterally, as well as the conclusion of the drill with the fly ball over the shoulder. As I said before, this is a great drill to help with transitional footwork, getting extra stimulation from Kbands. As you approach any lateral movement, we need to break down and get into a good athletic stance with our hand out in front of us to field the ground ball. As soon as you feel the ground ball, we're then going to immediately sprint forward again, working on our explosive hip flexor fire throughout the Kbands, and then we're going to be transitioning into either another ground ball or a fly ball over the shoulder. The fly ball over the shoulder is also important to focus on our footwork because that front leg knee drive is going to accelerate us forward. If we're lazy with that front side and our arm action, we're only going to be slower gaining ground towards the fly ball. As always, when we're working with our gloves on, younger athletes, we've got to really pay attention to our arm action as we accelerate. You've got to sprint to the place of the ball and then make the play rather than taking your arms down to your sides, reading the baseball as you leisurely get to the spot. We've got to sprint and explode and then be ready to catch the baseball. Complete anywhere between 8 to 12 resisted sets before you move into an unresisted round. Remember, the key here is to be explosive through the resistance as we work through baseball-specific drills here. So with the mobility 40s, you're going to wrap up your resisted sets and then jump into 2 to 3 unresisted sets. Not a ton of time in between. This should be continually rolling over to the next athlete to keep a good flow at practice. If you're looking for some more conditioning drills, head to kbandstraining.com and check out the baseball training section. I've got several videos there that can help you with your training, as well as some Kbands, ladders, cones, or anything else you need with your setup for your indoor workouts.